he's operating at an insanely high level, and with the benefit of experience now. I mean, he's always had raw speed and great natural talent, but the capacity he has in the car to be following the race, to be thinking about aspects that way beyond the normal the normal sphere is hugely impressive. And I think that he's just taken another step again this year. I mean, the last couple of years he's been out of this world, and I think you've got to start to consider Max now as one of the all-time greats. I mean, it's and particularly at 25 years of age, what he's done in the space of time he's done it. He's just massively impressive, and I think it's a privilege to work with him and see this driver that's just going to achieve these unbelievable things. And some of the things he does that just take us by surprise on a continual basis, whether it's in mixed conditions, wet conditions, dry conditions. His ability to extract the maximum from the car is unparalleled.
It must be interesting to look at his data compared to Checo and see where those differences are. Is it possible to pick that apart and find out where it is? Because we know Checo has been a very good driver, very competitive against a bunch of names, through his time in F1. So what is it that Max has? Is it possible to define it, what he has over his teammates?
I think he's just got this feel for the car, for the limit of grip. He's got such a confidence in himself and his own ability, his ability to get there so quickly. You look at his laps. So the first time you turn up at a Grand Prix or a new circuit, or his lap at times will just, his first lap of a day will often be 2-3 seconds quicker than anybody else. And you see a little bit of rain at Spa at the weekend, boom, suddenly that gap goes like that. He has tremendous natural feel and the ability to understand what the car needs from his input to get the most out of it. And that's it's fascinating to see, because he just adapts so quickly to a situation or a condition with the car.
What do you think it would be like to be his teammate, to race alongside him?
It would be tough. I mean, that's probably the toughest job in Formula One, is to be Max Verstappen's teammate, because the level that he's operating at, I don't think there's a driver in Formula One that will be able to take him on in this car. And I think that that's a tough gig for anybody. You've got to be mentally very resilient to deal and cope with that.
Is that, Christian, is that something that you think you're just going to have to kind of manage, as long as you've got Max in the car, that you're going to have almost, I guess, to put an arm around the teammate and be like, look, you go out and do the job, but there's probably a good chance that, I mean, we've seen it now with definitely 3 teammates, but you could argue that final season, 2018, you could start to see it with Daniel and Max was kind of forming that way anyway. Yeah. Is it just something, you're going to have to manage going forward, whoever it is in that seat with Max? Because it, as great as his opportunity is to drive at Red Bull, also seems like a bit of a poison chalice to be the guy in the same car as him, because that comparison can just be so brutal sometimes.
Well, it's a very tough seat, and I think you've almost got to switch off to what he's doing and just drive to the best of your ability and see where it takes you. So being Max's teammate is never going to be an easy gig, and I think Checo's actually done very well the last 2.5 years to achieve and do what he's done, and that takes great mental resilience, because not only has he got the data that he's staring down the barrels, he's got you guys to deal with. They're giving him grief every weekend saying, why aren't you at your teammates level? Well, nobody's at his teammates level. He's still second in the world championship, 40 points ahead of third place. So having won 2 Grand Prix and finished second in at least another 4 of them. So he in his turn has had a decent season, but anything compared to Max is secondary.
It's almost like comparing apples to oranges a little bit there. And I imagine for Checo, going into summer break after finishing P2 this weekend has to be a great boost for him mentally. It's been somewhat of a roller coaster as of late, especially on Saturdays in qualifying. Just where would you say that he is right now mentally with his drive.
That, he should have taken a bit of confidence out of. I thought his drive in Budapest was very strong on the Sunday. His race, he raced very hard there. He got unlucky in the sprint race on Saturday with the damage that he got. But then again, his race on Sunday, he took the lead. He passed Leclerc around the outside of the top of the hill and led for the first 17 laps of the Grand Prix. So, finished second place. So he can take a lot of positives. There's a few things that obviously he's focused on addressing in the second half of the year on Saturdays. But hopefully he'll get a bit of downtime, bit of time to chill out, and I think he'll come back, fully motivated for the second half of the year.
Will you set him any targets for the second half of the year? I mean, is it enough just to make sure he secures that second place in the championship, even if it's with a big gap to Max?
I think he'll want to win a race or two, but in the second half of the year, for sure, that'll be his target. I'm sure he'd love to win the Mexican Grand Prix. He will definitely want to be, at least second in the World Championship. That's for sure.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.